What's going on, everyone? This is Zach with Strictly Shisha, and everyone knows I have so much love for the brand Trifecta Tobacco. And this perplexing and complex flavor Enigma is exactly the reason why. And this flavor is not only new to Trifecta the brand, but it's also new to the dark leaf line that Trifecta just came out with. And I do have all the flavors to test out for you guys, so I'll keep you updated. But this is one of my favorite flavors so far, so I wanted to start off with this. So the packaging on this has changed from the original Trifecta line. They switched over from those Fumari style pouches to this really nice container. And I really think that all tobacco brands should switch to containers like this. It makes the maintenance and upkeep of the tobacco really easy. It's a nice airtight container, which makes it really, really nice for me. So that is a plastic container, has a label on here, has a logo, and this says Enigma. And you notice that all the logos have little characters in them, makes them so cute. Good job, Trifecta, with that. Let's talk about the cut on this. So the cut is obviously going to be different from your traditional Trifecta line. It's going to be a dark leaf tobacco. So you expect a really nice, dark, rich color to this. It's very finely chopped, and it's not very juicy. So you definitely want to make sure you get this nice and mixed before you smoke it. And that's something you should do with all your tobaccos. But definitely do it with this. It's definitely not as juicy as the original Trifecta, which had juice running everywhere. It's a really nice amount of juice in this. All right, so let's get into this flavor Enigma. And this flavor, like I said, it's puzzling. So let's see if I can describe the smell to you. Wow, such a great smell. I do smell some cooling right off the bat, and there is a herbal note like right in the foreground of this flavor. And that herbal note, I can't pinpoint what it is, but I did read the description, so I do know what it is. And I do get some citrus in there and a bit of sweetness. So the description on this flavor is going to be a combination of a citrus note, some berries, and basil. Now, basil in smoking definitely blows my mind, definitely fits the name. I've heard rumors of other tobacco companies testing out some basil flavors, but Trifecta is the first one that I've ever smoked and the first one that I know that's come to market. So props for taking the chance and coming out with a basil flavor. So it's such a really good smell. So what am I smoking this in? I'm smoking this in my spool hookah on the Ottoman LED base using a hybrid edition Dream Hose. A Goodfella bowl. Today I am using foil and coals, and this is tribute to the owner of Trifecta, who encourages me to smoke all of his flavors with foil. I've done many tests with this flavor, both with the Lotus and with foil, so I can definitely give you a comparison of my results because they do differ a little bit. I'm using a Dashini Flats, even though this box says cubes. I don't know why the box says cubes, it's so silly. And it's smoking really wonderful today. And as you can see, I have this fresh basil plant to compare with. So let me take a little piece off here and start to smell it for you guys. Basil, such a good ingredient to cook with, and I think you can smoke that now. Okay, so now that I have basil to compare with, the smell that I'm getting from this definitely smells like basil, and that would not be something I could just pick out. I'm only able to pick it out today because I have something to compare it to. Well, let's see the smoke. As you can see, I'm ripping the fattest clouds. And personally, I've hit a personal cloud record smoking this particular flavor in my Starbucks hookah. It was ripping, some of the biggest clouds I've ever seen. And I think that's partially due to the flavor strength on this and the ability of the dark leaf to take heat. This stuff takes heat, it doesn't burn, it's easy to manage. Unlike some other dark leaf tobaccos where you have to worry about the cloud output, they're a little heat finicky. This just takes the heat, the flavor strength is bold, you can load on the heat and rip the clouds like I am today. This is smoking so well. And this spool hookah also helps out a lot too. It's a really nice hookah. And I'm shivering, I know, I'm sorry guys. All right, so let's tell you guys about the flavor and what I can taste. So let's take one more hit. That's just an excuse so I can keep smoking. So the first thing I taste is definitely gonna be that herbal aspect, which is the basil. It is a little bit spicy, but you just get a really rich basil flavor from this. And this is not something I'd ever say when I was smoking a hookah that I would taste a basil flavor. The citrus in there just accompanies it. I'd say it's more on the lemon side, just that citrus to cut that flavor. And there is a bit of sweetness in there. I think that's what's attributed from the actual berries in this. When you do smoke this with the Cloud Lotus though, and you have some sort of heat management device, I found the smoke to be a lot sweeter. The basil aspect of it was a little more tame, and the sweetness and the lemon were what you really got in the foreground, and the basil was more in the background. But it's the exact opposite when you are smoking this with foil. You do get that strong basil right in the foreground, and you get the sweetness on the very end. So like right when you inhale, you get the basil, and then right at the end of that inhale, you do get that sweetness and the citrus, and it's just very mild in comparison to with the Lotus. Both ways perform very well. Oh, the flavor is just, this flavor definitely fulfills all questions that I had. It's just so good. And the only thing I have left to ask is, what is Trifecta gonna do next? That's the only puzzling question. Their ability to marry flavors with this was beautiful. To have an herbal essence in there, to have citrus and berry, I'd say it's kind of like a blueberry. And the blueberry is just, it's fresh and sweet and just a beautiful balance. This is definitely something I would check out, especially if you've not had the Trifecta Dark Leaf line. It's just, the Dark Leaf is so smooth, performs well. I can't say anything better about this tobacco. It's really, really well. And having fresh basil here, his ability to capture that fresh basil taste in a smoke, it's phenomenal. So you guys definitely check out trifectatobacco.com. This does have a Strictly Shisha, 2 thumbs up. I love it. I can't wait to smoke more and pick up more and tell you guys more about this Dark Leaf line. You guys have a wonderful night, and I'm gonna enjoy smoking this. Bye guys.